welcome to the final of the Lada Snooker Classic. Over 17 frames between Terry Griffiths and Steve Davis, with the winner getting this cheque for £5,000. The runner-up, incidentally, will get £3,000. Well, this afternoon session, which is over 7 frames, has been underway for a little over an hour, and Terry Griffiths, in fact, leads by 2 frames to 1. In fact, he's just taken the 3rd frame, which lasted for about 40 minutes, and the two of them playing safety and very, very cautious snooker for about the last 15 minutes. It was fascinating, intriguing stuff. Well, we can join it now at the start of the 4th frame with our 2 commentators, David Taylor and John Pulman.
And not a red potted yet in this 4th frame. Terry Griffiths leading by 2 frames to 1. 17 frame match, this final. And there goes the first red. Steve overrunning that a little. Doesn't look as if he can clip the black in.
Six. Seven.
And we've seen some excellent snooker here this afternoon so far. 96 break in the first
40.
frame by Steve Davis. Terry Griffiths coming back in the second with another nice break.
15.
Really excellent stuff. Wanted just a little nudge on the red there to leave the other one on into the corner. Didn't achieve it. Doesn't look as if he can pot one
22.
From there. Well, perhaps he can get through. In fact, it was a par.
23.
Steve will be just running this red into the centre pocket, trying to get on the other side of the blue.
29.
Leave himself the angle to come back for the loose red, just below the pack. Playing this with a touch aside.
34. 35.
Again, you want to stun this black in and leave a little bit of an angle so as you can pop the red in to the opposite corner pocket. And again, leave an angle now on the
42.
black.
43.
It's got a nice angle on the black now to pop the black and screw into the reds and open them up. A lot of power there, and that's perfect.
50.
Well, the break goes to 50. And and still 8 reds on the table.
Fifty-one.
Looks as if he might have covered the black there, but the pink is on into the corner. I don't know what's wrong with Steve there, but wiping his chin, he's got something there that he wasn't too happy about.
Well, Steve hasn't screwed back quite
57.
far enough there. If he's going to take the red in the centre, he's got to bridge over the bunch of reds. This makes it a difficult pot. Or he could get the half put out and stun this loose red at the bottom into the corner pocket. There's a good view of his bridge hand. He looks a little bit high there.
57 to Steve Davis.
Well, Terry would dearly love to win this frame. Very fine cut into the centre pocket.
One.
Well, many a good break starts with the red and yellow. The operative thing here, of course, is to get the cue ball just exactly in the right place for the next red. Well, Terry electing to play the brown there. Thought that was a better angle for getting on the reds, but unfortunately has run straight enough into the top pocket. Bit unfortunate there. Good opportunity wasted. Take Steve Davis then into a 60-point lead in this frame. 6 reds remaining.
Well, Terry hit that one all wrong. I think he's come out into a reasonable position. And Steve here having a look at the safety shot to clip off very thin. Play this with a lot of side of 2-3 cushions down into the balk area. And he's caught it too thick. And give Terry a very good opportunity here.
I think Steve paid the penalty there for overreaching David. He just wasn't comfortable on the shot. choice of 2 reds here. Pink nicely over the middle pocket, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get on a colour.
One. Seven.
Didn't have a sufficient angle on the pink there to be able easily to get on the next red, so it's quite a difficult situation here. This one has to be potted. Beautifully done. Plant.
8.
And finished in rather an awkward position. We play the yellow here, I would think. But pretty difficult to get on a red.
Well, I think Terry now has got to play a safety shot.
Ten to Terry Griffiths.
Steve Davis now 50 points in front in this frame with just 4 reds remaining. Trailing at the moment by 2 frames to 1. And quite an unusual one there from Terry, missing the red completely, giving 4 points away. And Steve looking at the score, it's 54 points in front. There's a chance here to put this red into the corner pocket. And he wasn't prepared to take that on. Preferred the safety shot. Which didn't in fact happen, because there is a chance for Terry to pot this red. But not a very nice situation, because 3 reds on the side cushion there. I've gone a little bit off the boil at the moment.
One.
Now, is there a possibility of getting the cue ball into the 3 reds to disturb them a bit?
Well, one route to disturb them would be to cut the blue into the centre with just a little bit of right hand side and come off the bottom cushion and elect him to roll the pink in and pop the bottom of the 3 reds into the corner pocket. knowing that the
7.
frame is reasonably safe now.
Now that was an excellent pot, because he was happy in the
8.
knowledge that Terry Griffiths already required snookers at that stage. And we'll have to swerve around the brown here to make contact with the red.
$14 to Steve Davis. And the frame.
And Terry Griffiths concedes in a pretty hopeless position. Levels the frames at 2 frames all.
Steve, Steve is keeps touching his chin, John. I don't know whether he got a little splinter off his cue in his chin, but...
Yes, I noticed that halfway through the frame, that he was having a little problem with something or other on his chin. Perhaps he missed out a bristle when he shaved this morning.
He shaved this morning. Steve Davis then coming back to 2-all after Terry Griffiths had gone into a 2-1 lead in the 3rd frame. We'll have more live snooker here from the Civic Centre in Oldham in just a few moments' time, right after this break. Welcome back to the Snooker Classic final. This afternoon session over 7 frames. The score at the moment is 2 frames each between Steve Davis and Terry Griffiths. And with Steve Davis at the table at the moment, let's rejoin our commentators, David Taylor and John Pulman.
Well, rather a difficult black there for Steve. I think he was more interested in the safety shot
1
than
to
the
Steve
pot.
Davis.
Just 1 red potted so far in this frame. And the score 2 frames all. Prospect of a very exciting final, this. Best of 17 frames, 7 this afternoon, and a further 10 tonight.
Well, Terry's left a red on into the corner pocket here. White going down for a ball colour. If he can get nicely onto a red, down at the top end of the table, could be away on a break. And he's played this shot very well. Just ran on a fraction far. Wanted to finish straight on this red. Nice Nicely down for the blue. And there's a red on the left-hand side corner of the pack. He'll be wanting to get onto this. Nice slow roll. That looks about perfect.
9.
Roll the red in and leave a nice angle on the black. That doesn't look in. No. Very
9
unusual
to
to see
Davis.
Steve miss one of those shots. Well, this gives Terry a nice opportunity now.
One. Eight. Nine.
Well, nicely on the red near the pink.
14.
I think we'll see Terry running this one in.
To Terry Griffiths.
Well, that's 2 putts in this frame by both players that normally would have been in without any problem at all. This shows what an exacting game this snooker is. Every shot really has to be
1.
right on the button. Virtually no margin of error.
Eight.
And not quite strong enough for that one. Oh, what a power shot that was to kiss through the pack.
9.
Didn't quite work out. He was anticipating getting on the black there. Just content to leave the cue ball close to the baulk cushion, I would think.
9 to Steve Davis.
And I think we'll find Terry here clipping off the red near the pink. He's just checking to make sure that he doesn't knock another red over this left-hand corner pocket.
False stroke.
Well, that is very unusual.
4 to Steve Davis.
I think Terry can believe that himself. It's come out very well. You seem to have plenty of room to hit the red near the pink, John, then.
Yes, it's one of those quite extraordinary shots that every player does occasionally.
Yes.
But as you so rightly said, he could very easily have cost himself the frame there, but I think he's got out of it reasonably well. Steve is looking to pot a ball here, I think. Probably a long red into the bottom corner pocket. No, into the middle, in fact. And then it goes. The only chance of potting one would be the brown into the middle. I think a little tickle onto the yellow, leave the cue ball behind the green.
1 to Steve Davis.
And nobody could call this a friendly game, could they?
No, it's pretty serious business, isn't it? Well, if Terry could just manage to hit the red on the cushion, John, then that would probably be the safest result.
That one that's behind the black on the top cushion, that's the one that he wants to dribble up to. But a very, very difficult shot.
Yes, just looking at it from here, I can't really see an angle to get onto it.
Well, bulk cushion, bring the cue ball up to just below the middle pocket. Possibly will give him the angle. Little too square, but made contact, but unfortunately he's left the red on into the corner pocket, just the thing that he didn't want to do. And this could well be end of frame.
1.
The ball's in fact not too favourably placed at the moment because the pink and black are a little bit bottled up.
6. Seven. 11.
Well, Steve here looking to see if he can dislodge the black.
12.
Well, he's done it, but certainly not where he wanted it. I think that the only shot that Steve's got in here now is to clip thinly off the black, go on the right hand side cushion and back down the table for safety.
Well, I don't know what Steve is looking at there. Is he contemplating potting this black into the corner pocket? Well, from our commentary position, it didn't look as if that black was on. But in it went, and fortunately, he hasn't screwed back far enough to be able to pot the next red.
19.
Well, but the one that's close to the black will go.
20.
Take Steve into a 30-point lead. Just 3 reds remaining now.
27.
37 points in front.
28.
And this black will mean that Terry Griffiths will require snookers.
$35. 36.
attempting to
36
send the
Steve
cue ball
Davis.
round the table there to get on the last red. He's forwarded the black, but he won't be too bothered about that. He's far enough in front to have made sure of this frame. 46 points in front with just 35 on the table. Terry needing 3 snookers at this stage.
Well, this looks like a nice snooker here. And Steve will be playing this with a lot of left-hand side to go off the bottom cushion. There's the side. And he's got back another snooker. It's surprising, John, how often that happens.
And surprising how often that happens as well.
Foul stroke.
Well,
Ball
Terry,
to
of course,
Steve
is in a
Davis.
pretty hopeless position, requiring 3 snookers. And when one says that, of course, one probably means that he's got to probably lay something like 15 snookers to extract 3 forfeits. So almost impossible.
Well, this one's a lot more difficult. I think he's going on the right-hand side of the brown and back on the left-hand side of the brown. More or less plain ball.
Terry Griffiths 14, Steve Davis 64.
Well, we'll see Steve going for this into the bottom left-hand corner pocket. A little bit of right-hand side on the white.
Well, this should put the frame beyond any reasonable doubt. And I don't think we'll be seeing Terry Griffiths come out of his corner after this particular little break of Steve's comes to an end.
Seven. Seven to Steve Davis.
And no doubt Terry
And
will
the frame.
concede. This takes Steve Davis into a 3-2 lead. And developing into quite a match this, David, isn't it?
Oh, very interesting there. Both players playing a very high standard. Not missing many shots, and the safety tactics are very, very good. An excellent match in prospect, John.
Well, of course, they've played each other so many times that they both have a very healthy respect for each other.
I feel like Terry's really got the bit between his teeth on this one.
It's all, of course, to do with the concentration, this game. One has to be concentrating to such an extent. We saw in that last frame, actually, Dave, if you remember, both players missed comparatively easy reds, which is quite easy to do when there's so much tension on the game.
That's right. Like you say, you've got to concentrate all the time, and you get on an easy red, and you treat it...
Steve Davis to break.
Not with quite the same respect, and bumps it. You've missed it.
So Steve Davis breaks off in this 6th frame, leading 3 frames to 2.
Well, an opportunity for Steve here with the red in the centre pocket. Come nicely back for the black. And he's missed that one. One that got away. And Terry's going to have a go at a similar shot. This time just screwing the white straight back. But not quite as fortunate. The red has hit the knuckle and come back into an easy position for Steve to knock it into the corner pocket. Just looking to see if the angle's there to come round for the black. Must be just a fraction too straight. Looks like he's electing to play a deep screw. Well, he played to pass the black, to put it into the opposite corner pocket. He got a bad snick on it and now has to play a safety shot. Can't put Terry in any trouble, just be containing shot.
1 to Steve Davis.
Well, even that shot he tried to play very cleverly by leaving an angle to cover the black on the red on the right hand side with the black. Well, I could be mistaken, John, but I think he's left the red on the corner of the pack. Do you think it goes into the bottom pocket?
Well, it certainly looks as if Steve's playing it. Can come nicely onto the black, should he knock it in?
He missed it.
Of course, that red that's in baulk, making this game a little different from most. Can't play the orthodox safety shot to take the cue ball down to the baulk end.
Possibly see Steve here playing a double on the red on the cushion. Now this very cutthroat. Nice safety shot. I think all Terry can do is roll into the reds.
Touching ball.
Referee Jim Thorpe deciding that the cue ball is touching the red, so Steve can just play away from that red, is deemed to have hit it, but looks as if he's making contact with the other one to bring the cue ball back behind the black. And Terry looking at the possibility of a plant, one red onto another to knock it into the middle pocket. A very risky shot. He's obviously decided it's on. And there it goes. Bit unfortunate there, though. Hasn't come onto a colour.
1.
Can only play a safety shot. Leave the cue ball on the top cushion.
1 to Terry Griffiths.
Didn't even achieve that.
Well, Steve will be trying to get the white back behind the black. Screwing off the red on the cushion. Well, Terry's going to go for this by the looks of things, and if he does, it's a very risky shot. And he's screwing back for safety. I don't think he's playing the pot here. Just wants to try and get the white game behind the black. I think Terry hit exactly where he wanted to hit there. And that's an excellent shot.
Well, they don't come much better than that, David, do they? Tremendous cue power there to screw back from that pack of reds. Been a bit fortunate, I think, in the fact that he left the red right over the middle pocket, but he's covered it by the black.
And it looks as though Terry is thinking of going off the side cushion and leaving the white touching the red that's near the baulk cushion at the other end of the table. He's just going to roll off the cushion and try and rest it on these two reds. Very delicate shot. Oh, that looks all right. Well, it looks like Steve spotted something here. I think he's attempting the red.
A little bit of relaxation, I think, for Steve there. I don't think he's really contemplating playing the shot like that. Or is he? Indeed.
He's thinking of playing the Massey round to pot the red over the centre pocket. What an excellent shot.
Well, an excellent shot, but unfortunately for him, he didn't come onto the black as anticipated.
It looked for a moment, John, he was going to play a very severe swerve around the reds then.
1 to Steve Davis.
Well, an excellent pot there from Terry. And that's very unfortunate. He deserved a better position than that.
Touching ball.
Yeah, absolutely amazing that, David. Such a good red. Finished up in the worst position he could possibly find.
Yes, another 2 inches, John. He'd have had a nice green and possibly won the frame off it. Whereas now I think he's probably going to go down to, if it's a touching ball, near the black. And he's hit that a bit strong, John.
1 to Terry Griffiths.
Looks very disappointed.
Well, it certainly wasn't at all according to plan, that. And this one of those awkward frames of snooker. Every frame of snooker, of course, is different from the one before. The balls break up differently in each game. And this one, because of reds going down to the balk end, makes an entirely different pattern to the game. But here's a great opportunity.
Six. Seven. 12.
Takes Terry into 12-point lead.
$13.
A little bit out of position there, I would think. Electing to take a long blue into the top corner pocket. Sort of shot that
18.
Terry Griffiths seldomly misses. Such a nice, straight, fluent cue action.
19.
And that brings Terry nicely
22.
onto the red. An opportunity here for stunning by the green, and if the pink will go past the brown.
$23.
Nice soft screw here, hitting nice and low, just to hold it for that red. That's perfect.
$29.
And that's cleared the air a little bit, of course. Putting the pink there brings it back onto its spot. Got rid of a little bit of congestion that there was around the baulk area. Oh, and would you believe?
29 to Terry
Comparatively
Griffiths.
simple pot miss there again. Looked to be going well. 29 points in front now, Terry. 6 reds left on the table.
Well, he put a lot of left-hand side on the white there. He wanted to try and cling the white to the cushion, make it difficult cueing for Steve. Whereas there's just a couple of inches off now, and he allows him to go for this long red near the yellow. Makes the pot that little bit easier.
1.
Not worth a guinea box, those, David, aren't they? You can pop balls like that. The ones that count.
Well, I wish I had a guinea for every one I'd missed.
7. $7 to Steve Davis. Terry Griffiths 31, Steve Davis 9.
Well, looks like Terry can... I was going to say he could pot the red that Steve had just gone for, but he obviously can't. Going for this harder one. Knocked it in and got a lovely cannon on the black.
1.
Just left himself a little bit straight, but he'll be happy to knock this in and have the opportunity to get onto another red. We're going to probably see deep screw here. A lot of left-hand side to bring it up near the
8.
blue. And that's not an easy shot.
8 to Terry Griffiths.
Well, I think Steve has got a chance of clipping this in. putting all the left-hand side on that he had on. Just threw the pot off a little bit.
Terry Griffiths then 30 points in front at the moment, just 4 reds remaining. And a little too thinly there. 4 points away.
Foul stroke. 4 to Steve Davis.
Well, a little bit unfortunate that he's clipped the second red and it's gone dangerously close to the bottom left-hand pocket. Steve will cut this in. Well, he's gone for the first red.
1.
Very good pot. Brought the red on the cushion into play and in a good position now to clear the table.
Six. Seven.
I think we'll find Steve stunning this off the top cushion back down to put the red into the opposite middle pocket. Left himself a little bit close to the cushion.
12.
Again raising the butt of his cue to play another stun shot. Avoid the in-off.
Got a welcome little nudge off the corner of the middle pocket there, which brought the cue ball out onto the table. So it was very much to his advantage. Just 1 red left now behind the brown. Not easy to get on. Stick the blue into the middle pocket, send the cue ball onto the baulk cushion, and back up again for the red. Well, once again, cue ball a little bit close to the side cushion for comfort.
18.
Makes this a very missable shot. Just 8 points in arrears now, Steve. That's always one that could get away.
18 to Steve Davis.
Cost him the frame, I would imagine.
Terry Griffiths 39, Steve Davis 31.
Well, Terry badly wants this game under his belt, but never easy from even though the red and all the balls are open.
One.
And he's got that just about perfect. He can elect to take the brown, or he can just run the yellow in and take yellow again into the opposite corner pocket. Well, he's elected to play the stun, but he hasn't got hold of it very well.
3.
an excellent shot.
5.
13 points in front now.
Eight.
Just the brown to make Steve Davis require snookers. 20 points in the frame now, with just 18 points left on the table.
12.
And nicely on the blue. And what a tremendous match this is.
17.
Boiling up to 3 frames all now.
23 and points to Terry Griffiths.
So fortunes changing all the time. The gods at the moment smiling on Terry Griffiths. We'll be back with the final in a few moments from now. Welcome back. We're at a fascinating stage in the final between Terry Griffiths and Steve Davis. 3 frames each at the moment. We're in the last frame of this afternoon session as we go back and join our commentators, David Taylor and John Pulman.
And not a ball potted yet in the 7th frame. Very important frame, this. Last one of the afternoon. And what an excellent fresh red there.
1.
Well, pink is on into the corner pocket, but not at all easy to get on the next red. Choice of 2 here. Long
7.
one down into the baulk pocket. Or one across into the corner, and that's the one that Steve's electing to play. Once again, quite a lot to do with the cue ball in order to come onto a colour.
Eight.
'Well, Steve's looking to run the brown here and get on the red on the side cushion. A lot of top.
$12. $13.
Well, possibility of snicking the pink into the middle pocket, but he doesn't want to know about that. Playing the blue or yellow, I would think. And then it goes as clean as a whistle.
15. $15 to Steve Davis.
Just 15 points accrued there. Terry Griffiths has yet to open his account in this frame. Playing purely a defensive shot here. A little snick off the red on the top cushion to take the cue ball down into the safety zone.
A little bit fortunate there, Terry, attempting the red in the middle. But he's not come out too badly. Steve is going to try and screw this in the top left-hand pocket. And still trying to keep the white safe. I think we'll see Terry take this one on. Possibly into the same pocket. And screwing back for safety. If he pops it in, he'll be on the yellow. Well, again, it's quite safe, this. And Steve possibly play the double here. And there you saw Steve trying to develop the black into a nice position and get the snooker down the green. Well, Terry would have liked to have hit them, obviously, but won't be too worried where the white's finished. Well, the reds are starting to open up a little bit now, and the first person in could make a nice break. This seems to be developing very nicely. Yes. You can just snick a left on red. Well, certainly can't get it any finer than that.
Foul stroke. 4 to Terry Griffiths.
And possibility of a free ball here, I would think.
Free ball.
Means that Terry Griffiths can play any colour he likes, which will count as a red. In fact, has elected to put Steve in again. Not too difficult to hit a red, of course, but the operative things must leave a safe position. What an excellent shot this is turning out to be. Terry getting a double kiss on that red, which might have proved disastrous, but it's worked out all right. A vital frame this, the last one of the afternoon session. Somebody has to go to tee with a 4-3 advantage.
I think John Stee's looking at a triple plant here. Very difficult shot. That's not turned out too bad.
Well, whoever was it that said fortune favours the brave? Because was he very lucky there? Could have left the whole thing wide open. Great putt.
1.
Now in with a great chance.
Six. Seven.
Well, at the moment, Terry wants to get nicely onto another red, but he doesn't really want to put another red and then the black, because, as you see, the black does spot and there's a cluster of reds around it. Well, this is
13.
an opportunity to take one of the reds away from the black spot, but not an easy position to get onto a colour.
$14.
I think we're going to see Terry possibly. This is very tight. He's looked at this a few times. That's a good shot.
$20.
Terry will be hitting the white low here and just screwing back a few inches for the pink.
So what a great final it's turning out to be, with Terry Griffiths slightly in front. Extensive coverage of the match on Midweek Sports Special at 10:30 tonight. No football because they've all been called off because of the weather, so join us then.
Time for snooker, and the final of the Lada Classic at Oldham between Steve Davis and the world champion and Terry Griffiths. Now, in yesterday's semi-finals, you may remember, Davis had beaten Ray Reardon and Griffiths had beaten...
And that doesn't look at all bad. Will Steve take this pot on? If he could pop this one into the corner pocket and come onto the black, it could be under frame. But a very, very dangerous shot.
Well, what makes this even more difficult is the brown's in the way. I think he's looking for the safety here. No, there it goes, another long pot. Cracking shot, that.
1.
And the amazing thing is, like, he's well behind in this frame, needs all the balls,
8.
but for me, he's just gone favourite to win it.
9.
Well, just has to drop this cue ball nicely onto the yellow. And that's not as good as it might have been. Didn't quite get hold of that one. Now this is a pretty difficult yellow. Not only is the
16.
pot difficult, but it's also difficult to get onto the green. Very testing one, this.
$16 to Steve Davis.
Well, I don't think Steve has left the yellow on, but quite an easy shot for Terry to stun the cue ball behind the green, send the yellow up the table, and leave Steve in a lot of mess. Steve Davis, of course, not a lot of points to play with. He's 23 behind, only 27 on the table at the moment. So should he miss the snooker, he will only be able to draw.
Foul stroke. 4 to Terry Griffiths. Terry Griffiths 66.
Well,
Steve
I would
Davis
think that
39.
settled the frame. Nice easy yellow here. Won't be too bothered about getting on the green, knowing that once the yellow goes in, Steve Davis requires a snooker. And that looks pretty good. End of frame, I would suggest.
Five.
Well, that'll leave Terry feeling quite nice about this evening.
9.
Leading 4-3. Means he can enjoy his tea
14.
a little bit more.
Frame to Terry Griffiths.
Terry, you must be quite pleased at the interval.
Yes, I am pleased to be ahead, of course, but I could have won a few more frames, and again, Steve should have won a few more, so it's one more frame than I won in the UK Championships against Steve, so I am on the way up anyway.
Steve, hard work for you, which isn't something you're used to, is it?
It is. Well, Terry's making it very, very difficult. It's been very enjoyable. It's not the fastest game I've played in, but it's one of the most interesting because it's you have to work for every ball. So I'm looking forward to the next session.
Yes, indeed. Well, Terry Griffiths then leading by 4-3, and I think that really set up the final for the night. And we should be bringing you extended highlights of that final. It comes up immediately after this break. And welcome to the special and the Lada Snooker Classic from Oldham. Well, we've seen how the afternoon session finished with Terry Griffiths leading Steve Davis by 4 frames to 3. Well, Griffiths won the opening frame of the evening session as well to make it 5-3. He also made a great start to the next frame as well. He leads by 43 points to 0.
Terry looking there to see whether the pink will go into the corner pocket. If it won't, he'll have to go down for the blue after this red.
$44.
And just the wrong angle on the blow. can only here leave himself a long red or attempt to send the blue around the table. And to settle for the long red. And puts these so well, as a rule.
49.
Such a nice, straight, fluent cue action, this man from Llanelli, South Wales. Pops these in, as a rule, as if they're over the pocket.
$50.
And the lovely little kiss onto the red there left him perfectly on the black. Well, now I would think we're playing to screw into the reds to just disturb them a little. Or possibly could run through onto the side cushion to get onto the red into the corner. That's the one he's decided on.
$57. $58.
And overcooked that one just slightly. A little bit more angle on the pink than he would have liked, so he decided to play the blue. Screw back for the red that's closest to the pink.
$63. $64.
This blue, in fact, will leave Steve Davis wanting a snooker. We'll take him into a 69-point lead with only 67 remaining on the table.
And I'm pretty sure, Dennis, at this moment that Terry Griffiths doesn't realise that. Anyway, nicely on the red that's close to the black there. So it looks as if
69.
Terry Griffiths is going to go into a 3-frame lead here.
70.
Little bit straight on the black. In fact, means he can't play the cannon into the remaining 4 reds. And has to just bring the cue ball back about 2 inches. And is now faced with a long red into the top pocket. Not an easy shot, but the way Terry's cueing, I wouldn't be surprised if this one doesn't fly in the pocket.
$78.
And it looks as if we're in for a very nice break here from Terry.
$85. $86.
And this is the type of snooker that won Terry Griffiths the World Championship in 1979. Well, not that type of snooker, John.
86 to Terry Griffiths, foul stroke, 7 to Steve Davis.
That's the one that we call the Grand National shot. Over the top. But how often a shot like that could cost you the frame, but Terry was in the position there where it didn't really make a lot of difference. So Terry Griffiths goes into a 3-frame lead, leading 6 frames to 3.
Yes, indeed, that makes it 6-3 then to Terry Griffiths. And he also takes the next one to gain a 7-3 lead. Now, that's quite sensational, with the world champion now really up against it. Well, we join it now in the 11th frame, Griffiths about to break.
Not a very good break-off from Terry. Hasn't done any damage, but means that Steve Davis can put him into a little bit of trouble. Having said that, he's left an opportunity of a red into the top right corner pocket for Terry. I'm not too sure where the white ball will finish here, but be concentrating on the pot. Well, missed the pot and made a bit of a mess of that one, John.
Well, I feel that's a shot that could have a very dramatic effect on this match. It's opened things up absolutely perfectly for Steve here. If he could get a good break on. Oh, that sounded like a bit of a kick.
1.
Has he come far enough through for the black? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, have to be a long blue, I would think. No, decided on the yellow. And what a great shot that is. Oh, it's incredible. 4 frames behind in this match. And to take on a shot like that really demands absolute confidence. There's a red on into the middle pocket. The problem being a positional shot. How to get on a colour.
In fact, Steve refusing that one, taking the red into the opposite corner pocket. Didn't quite make it on that occasion.
3 to Steve Davis.
But no great damage done. Looks as if Terry's attempting a pot here.
Well, that was an absolutely fantastic shot,
1.
wasn't it?
Very risky indeed, John. Scattered the reds. It was a little bit unfortunate, didn't finish on the black, but would have needed a certain amount of luck to drop onto the black on that occasion.
Well, of course, have to be extremely careful here.
It was a little bit unfortunate, didn't finish on the black, but would have needed a certain amount of luck to drop onto the black on that occasion.
Well, of course, have to be extremely careful here. Play a colour, looks as if it's going to be the blue, but there is a red right over the top corner pocket. He's got to be careful to cover that one up.
1 to Terry Griffiths.
And has he done that? Looks as if he possibly has.
And once again, he's got Steve really thinking here. Can't afford to leave Terry in here. Not with the way the balls are positioned. And it looks as if he's attempting to move the red away from the top pocket.
I think he's playing off the top cushion to make contact there. Ooh, that doesn't look particularly good. And not having a very happy evening, Steve Davis.
Of course, John, this is the first time we have seen Steve, in fact, 4 frames behind.
1.
So he's normal, like us all. He's got to suffer the pressure. There you had a beautiful shot of Terry Griffiths forcing the cue ball right the way back up the table, but hasn't really dropped onto a red.
Four to Terry Griffiths, foul stroke. 4 to Steve Davis.
Well, once again, Dennis, I'm rather surprised. Obviously, Terry played to knock that red into the middle pocket. I would have thought a safety shot there would have been to far greater advantage. Finished up by going in off. And has left Steve in with a chance here.
1.
And if this young man manages to knock in a sizable break, who knows, the match could be turned upside down. And once again, that doesn't seem to have come to advantage.
6.
Quite certainly didn't intend the cue ball to finish there.
And once again, Steve misses a
6 to Steve Davis.
relatively easy shot. Terry's got this long red on, but once again won't be too sure where the white ball's traveling. And this time it's
1.
spot on, and a terrific opportunity. Makes
8.
all the difference in this game when you get a little bit of good running.
9.
Little bit straight on the black, but shouldn't be any great problem.
$16.
Didn't quite get enough side on that for the red he intended, but has one into the middle.
$17.
Terry electing to take the green, having to play this with a lot of screw and side.
$20.
Well, this isn't an easy pot, but if he does knock this one in, he'll be right on the black. and in fact decides to go back down the table again.
21.
With 2 shots in one again. Has an angle on the green this time to take him back up into the reds. And a nice little nudge here, and Terry could be in business.
24.
Well, scratching his head there, as you're not too happy, but in fact, not too difficult, this. Straight red into the corner pocket, and he has to trundle it in and be nicely on the black. Could have been a lot worse than that.
Well, this not easy. Has to be very careful not to move one of the balls with the rest.
25. $32. 33.
Terry this time going down for the blue.
$25 points in front at the moment. This blue will take him into a 30-point lead. Just 5 reds left during the frame. One of those in a pretty hopeless position on the side cushion, just below the middle pocket. But 4 around the pink spot, all in a potable position.
$38.
And looks as if there's one into the middle pocket there, past the pink.
$39.
And he won't be too happy with that. Missed a very easy pink there. Real let off for Steve Davis there, John.
Well, the game looked to be all over, didn't it? And here we have the situation with Steve Davis starting this break, 31 points in arrears. 4 reds on the table. Back in with a chance, but that didn't quite work out as he anticipated. A thin snick
8.
on this red makes the positional side of the shot that much more difficult.
9.
Problem ball still that 1 red that's below the middle pocket, close to the cushion.
Be interesting to see if Steve,
14.
on this occasion, I think he would like to get down onto one of the balk colours to leave himself an angle to move this last red.
I think he probably
15.
heard you there. Well, because he's got a good angle on the yellow here, can pop the yellow into the corner pocket, come off the balk cushion to disturb that last red.
Not easy, this one. He has to put a lot of left-hand side on the cue ball. And very unfortunate. Did hit the red, but A little bit too thin.
17. $17 to Steve Davis.
Well, got a good result there. Beat the snooker on the last red. Now just 14 points adrift.
Terry Griffiths 44, Steve Davis 30.
And Terry have to be a little bit careful here. Not too difficult to hit the red. But he must get it safe.
And it looks as if he possibly has got the snooker back again. And he'll be quite happy with that result. Easy to hit this red coming off the top cushion, but no idea where he's going to knock it. In fact, gives it a real old knock.
Foul stroke, 4 to Terry Griffiths.
And things just not working out for Steve at the moment.
Well, I would think that that should settle this frame, Dennis. Terry 18 points in front. The last red nicely over the pocket.
One.
Pink into the middle. And a very easy positional shot to get on the yellow. And after that yellow, Steve Davis will require snookers.
7.
$25 points in the game at the moment. Terry looking at the score. This yellow will take him 27 points in front with only 25 left.
Nine.
Once again, making sure that he hasn't made a mistake with the score.
$16.
And a very confident pot there from Terry. Nice little angle.
21.
That helps him to stay on the pink.
$27.
So, Terry Griffiths takes an 8 frames to 3 lead.
Frame to Terry Griffiths.
So now the question is, can the world champion make any sort of comeback? We'll be getting back to that action in Oldham after this short break. Welcome back. Well, Steve Davis then won his first frame of the evening to make it 8-4, and there were signs of a comeback from the champion that he is. We join the action now in the 13th frame.
And here we
13
go.
frame.
Terry Griffiths
to break.
breaking off. And very nice break this time. Steve quickly down to have a go at this long red. And that was a dreadful shot from Terry. Not only missed the pot, but has put Steve right in amongst the balls. possibly still thinking about that little bit of bad luck in the last game when he managed to get a kick on the pink, but that's gone by the board and he's got to get stuck back in again.
Six. Seven.
Nicely onto the blue. And has got a few choices what he can do here with the cue ball. And that's certainly wasn't what he intended.
12.
Got the long red. You got a perfect shot of it there on your screen.
13.
Another reasonably long red
18.
here. Looks easy on your screen, but a lot more difficult.
19.
Well, undercooked that a little. Red's still on, but he's got to send the cue ball into the reds here. Not an easy shot to get onto a colour.
$27.
And once again a long blue. No problem about getting on a red, of course. There's one right over the middle pocket. And this young man's certainly looking as if he's
32.
decided that he's finished messing about. He's going to knock everything in that's possible.
33. $40. 41.
Down for the blue, but would have liked to have travelled a few more inches. In fact, deciding to take the green. Easy to get the cue ball back up the table onto the reds.
$44. 45.
And the way Steve's going here, we could see quite a sizable break.
$52.
Having to come back for the blue.
53.
This time going over for the red on the
58.
side cushion. Have to do a bit of work with the cue ball to get position
59.
here. And he couldn't have played it much better than that.
$64.
So the break goes to 64 and still 5 reds on the table.
65.
And Steve just wanted a little nudge onto the 2 reds that are together there to open them up, but didn't achieve
72. 73.
And this time we'll be screwing the cue ball into those two reds. Open them up.
An opportunity this time to take the
80.
more difficult of the three reds. Once again, screwing back down the table.
81.
On this occasion, has overdone it slightly.
Break now goes to 86. And
86.
obviously Steve has made sure of this frame.
'87.
And certainly a young man with a purpose. Playing so quickly at the moment that he makes Alex Higgins look slow.
94. 95.
And the break at 99. Possible 126 on, should he put these
99.
last remaining 6 colours. Ooh, and a dreadful
101.
kick. Dreadful kick from there. Still potted the yellow, but didn't get the desired position on the green.
An opportunity to cut the green into the middle pocket, but a very difficult shot.
Well, Terry Griffiths coming to the table, but I'm quite sure that he is going to concede, which he has done in fact.
Well, the comeback was really gaining momentum now, and indeed it was becoming an enthralling final. In fact, Steve Davis took the next frame as well, so that Terry Griffiths' lead was cut to 8-6. We join the 15th frame now with the score Griffiths 49, Davis 38, and Terry Griffiths at the table.
And once again, very difficult for Terry Griffiths to play a safety shot here. Just working out the angles. He's now worked them out. Let's see if he can put the green where he wants it. Just caught the middle pocket angle there and has left Steve Davis with an opportunity. Steve, rather fortunate again. Not only did he knock the green safe, but he's knocked the black ball right over the top pocket. Well, not right over, but in an easy, potable position.
Thank you, please.
Terry playing that shot with a lot of right-hand side to kill the pace on the cue ball, but once again he's left Steve with a chance of potting this green. He'll be kissing into the brown if that should go favourably. It looks as if he might be doing just that. No, not quite hard enough. I don't think that's potable.
3.
Had it travelled another couple of inches, of course, it would have been right over the middle pocket. Well, it was possible.
Seven. 12.
Long pink now down into the corner pocket, screw back for the black. And that could take Steve Davis just 1 frame behind.
18.
So 8 frames to 7, just 2 more frames remaining, and the pot's still boiling.
Well, an amazing final developing, and in fact, it has now developed to such a point that it's got to 8-8. We're going to go live now to Oldham to pick up that final frame. Let's go and join our commentators now.
Can we have the very best of order for the final frame, please? Thank you. Terry Griffiths to break.
Terry Griffiths then breaks off in this final match of the Lada Snooker Classic final. Quite an extraordinary night here at Oldham. Steve Davis trailing at one time by 8 frames to 3 has won the last 5 frames to level the match. And as I'm talking, a fortuitous one for Steve there. Flukes a red into the corner pocket. But come back from the brink of disaster here, losing 8 frames to 3 and won the last 5 frames to make it 8 all. And here we're seeing the last frame of the match.
And Terry Griffiths will be very pleased to see the white ball
6.
finishing up in that position. There's no pot on here, so Steve will be looking to take that cue ball down onto the balk cushion.
Six to Steve Davis.
And a very good safety shot from Terry Griffiths. And once again, the red balls split up very nicely. Terry under a tremendous amount of pressure now.
Well, it's certainly not nice, Dennis, is it, when you're in a position where you virtually won the match and then you continually see frames slipping away. Not good for the nerves. A couple of hours ago, just needed 1 frame for victory and still finds himself in that position. And this is the last frame.
Steve sending a red towards the corner pocket. Cue ball comes back a little bit further than he would have liked. In fact, the blue is blocking the path to that particular red. He has the red on the other side of the table, but wouldn't be too sure where the cue ball's going. Just checking the angle and doesn't like it. And a very nice pot from Terry.
Well, didn't manage to get on to one of the baulk colours, but no great marks for deciding what shot's coming next.
1 to Terry Griffiths.
And almost impossible to play a safety shot there, I would think. 2 cushions, unfortunately made contact with the blue.
5 to Terry Griffiths.
And in fact hasn't come out of that too badly, I don't think. Red on into the middle, but I don't think Terry will be taking that on. Going to snick one into the top pocket here.
One.
Nicely onto the brown this time. In fact, has got the angle to take the cue ball back up to the reds. And they're all sitting in potable positions.
Five.
And a very good opportunity here, John, for Terry to really knock in some sort of break.
Well, of course, when you're in Terry's situation in a match like this, the pockets get smaller and smaller, but nice red into the corner here, screw down for the blue. And as you say, it's got every chance of notching up a few points here. Not as easily placed as they might be, but possibilities. Plenty of reds to get on, but the colours are not ideally situated.
11.
It looks as if Terry, in fact, is thinking in terms of the black here. Or is he screwing back for the pink? In fact, he hasn't
12.
Finished on either. And the only shot on is a long blue into the bottom pocket. Will be attempting to screw back up for the red on the right-hand pocket. And very nicely played.
There's still problems here, Dennis. The black won't go. This red looks a bit straight. So he's got to do a lot with the cue ball to get onto the colour here. Deep screw.
And
the pink into the middle pocket.
Something just disturbed Terry slightly there. Just gets up, settles himself, back down again. And a very vital pink coming up.
$24.
Well, that pink takes him 24 points in front. Still lots of reds left, of course.
And once again, he's got quite a bit of work to do with the cue ball. And in fact,
24
he's
to Terry Griffiths.
attempted to stop on the black, then missed the red. Not only has he missed the red, but he's left Steve an easy chance here.
1.
Looks as if he's just a little bit straighter on the blue than he would have liked. We'll have to force this with a bit of side. Comes out for the red, just behind the pink.
6. Seven.
And onto the pink into the middle pocket, but although the reds are fairly well split there, not terribly easy to get on there. Has to play a bit of a screw shot, I think. Makes the pot that little bit more difficult. Well, didn't quite manage to get into the desired position there, I don't think, but possibly can just get through for the red that's
13.
closest to the pocket.
And in fact, it looks as if the other red will, in fact, go past the one you just mentioned, John. Well, it would have done, but he didn't quite make it.
13 to Steve Davis.
And possibly
Terry
Steve
Griffiths 30.
now
Steve
suffering
Davis 19.
a little bit of tension. Has an opportunity here, but has to stretch to get to this particular one.
That's the pot, not too difficult, but once again, got to get that cue ball round in the right position for the colour. Didn't want that little kiss on the black, I don't think, but pink is on into the middle.
1.
And Terry looks as if he's having a little bit of trouble with his eye, possibly a little speck of dirt or something in it. And a marvellous opportunity here for
7.
Terry Griffiths. Got a choice of 3 reds here. Electing to take the one over the top left pocket. And hasn't quite given that enough. Still has a long blue, but I'm sure he would have liked to have had an easier shot than this one. Now 24 points in front.
13.
And things are looking really good for Terry here, John.
Well, he's had 1 or 2 opportunities to wrap this match up in the last 2 or 3 hours and hasn't managed to do it.
14.
One wonders whether there still might be a slip twixt cup and lip. But certainly in with a great chance, Dennis, that's for sure. 30 points in front now with just 4 reds left on the table.
19.
And this might be an all-important ball and stretching a little bit here. And that, I would suggest, could well be the match-winning pot.
20.
Looking at the score, trying to work things out. In fact, he's 31 points in front at the moment. Pink would make it 37. And if he just comes back a little bit, almost to where the cue ball is now, could snick a red into the other corner pocket.
$26.
Just one more red and pink required to leave Steve Davis needing a snooker. So we'll be giving this one 100% concentration. And a beautiful shot. I just wonder, will Terry regret forcing that particular shot? Could have just rolled it into the pocket and made sure of the pot.
63.
44 points in the frame now. Only a possible 43 on the table, so Steve Davis requires a snooker at this stage. And that looks as if it might be it. But of course, Terry Griffiths has to fail to make contact with the red here for it to become operative for Steve Davis. Shouldn't be too difficult, actually, except that under a lot of pressure, it's a perfectly straightforward shot across to the side cushion and off to make contact with the red. And so often these shots have been missed and frames have been lost. Successfully negotiated.
Steve would like to knock this long red in and possibly get a pink or black.
1.
And with the way these colours are positioned, Steve Davis could quite easily get a snooker. A lot of people thought Steve played to pot that particular red, but in fact he did play to catch the red in the jaws of the pocket. And it just hasn't quite finished in a snooker. Terry having to swerve around the brown slightly and manipulated that very well indeed. $37 points the difference, 35 on the table. And an opportunity here for Steve to get that white ball. He's got two choices here, could roll up behind the black or could elect to take the white down behind the yellow. That, in fact, was the shot he elected.
Well, that is a snooker, Dennis. There's a delicate little swerve shot on to send the cue ball between the brown and green, which possibly might be a little easier than playing off the cushion. And that's the one that Terry's elected to play, the little swerve between the brown and green to make contact with the red. Red's gone astray,
Foul
given
stroke.
6 points away.
6 to Steve Davis.
And now Steve Davis can win.
Steve Davis 32. Terry
31
Griffiths,
points in
63.
the frame. And a possible 35 points on the table.
One consolation for Terry, he did manage to knock the pink towards the side cushion. And once again, Steve has put Terry in a lot of trouble.
Well, surely the game can't be so cruel as to deny Terry victory here. In this frame, was in a almost winning position. Now finds himself having to win the frame all over again.
Yes, it's amazing, John, with 2 reds on, as Terry said, if he had have just rolled that second last red in, I'm sure he would have managed to get out of the snooker, but just look where the red's gone. He's going to be in a more difficult one after this.
Well, it looks as if he's taking the pot on, actually. Most people would play to just trundle the cue ball behind the blue. But this young man is so confident of potting that with any chance at all, he's prepared to take it on. If he can get onto the yellow here, which isn't terribly easy, got a great chance of pinching this frame once again.
And that hasn't quite turned out as planned. Wanted just to creep past the green.
6.
And what a cliffhanger this match has turned out to be.
25 points the difference now. Steve Davis trailing by 25. And 27 points on the table.
Six to Steve Davis.
Well, almost a snooker, but not quite. But the yellow absolutely safe, close to the baulk cushion.
Terry, in fact, this time could elect to come off the cushion, hit the yellow from behind. In fact, decides just to make sure and get that yellow ball into a safe position. And this is an excellent shot from Steve Davis. Terry having to play this with a lot of right-hand side.
And of course, the all-important thing, Dennis, not just the 4 points that he might give away, but doesn't want to leave that yellow on. In fact, he has. Not an easy one by any means, but a definite chance here to sneak this one into the top corner pocket. And there it goes.
Two.
And not a bad position here for Steve. Green into the middle, run through, and would you believe he's missed it?
2 to Steve Davis.
A little bit of pressure coming in. Not the sort of shot that he would normally miss.
Not an easy shot for Terry. Just requires the one ball to leave Steve needing a snooker. And that wasn't an easy shot under the circumstances by any means.
A little bit of a smile there from Steve Davis. I'm sure both these players will be quite pleased when this match is over. Possible chance of snicking this green into the middle pocket, but it's a bit fine. Cue ball would come off the top cushion going down for the brown. And difficult to think really, Dennis, if he doesn't take this one on into the middle, what shot is he going to play?
And that's in fact what Steve's thinking about at the moment. We'll soon find out. And in fact, elects to play the safety shot. And this green looks a little bit straight there. You've got the picture on your screen.
Quiet, please.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Terry refuses the pot and attempts to get this green ball onto the bottom cushion. A very sensible shot under the circumstances. And now, once again, another long green. I feel sure this time Terry will be going for it. And he wasn't too far away from that.
And this packed crowd tonight, Civic Centre Oldham, sitting absolutely on their
Thank
seats.
you.
What an enthralling evening of snooker they've had. And this looks to be a great opportunity.
3.
But pink and black, of course, in quite awkward situation here. Brown and blue shouldn't be too difficult.
7.
Trying to disturb the pink. Well, did it, only
12.
just, but difficult pot this, and of course, still needs the black afterwards.
And what a finish, John.
Well, I don't know quite how many hours these chaps have been playing today. 17 frames. Something like 4 1/4 hours tonight. So pretty
12
hard
to
stint.
Steve Davis.
And Steve didn't quite get the pink onto the bottom cushion. And I feel Terry Griffiths will be giving this 100% concentration, just trying to concentrate on his cue action. Just gives a big smile there, but he'll be really uptight at the moment. Breathing fairly heavy as well.
Well, the saving grace with that one, it was very close, didn't quite go in, but Terry played a very good shot there. He brought the cue ball back to the top cushion, and it's very close. A very awkward one, this, for Steve to negotiate.
Well, John, I can't understand what the crowd's getting all excited about.
Well, you've been in this sort of situation yourself, as I have over the years, and we both know just exactly what these two players are going through at the moment. Well, that was almost an unbelievable shot, was it?
Absolutely amazing, John.
But all on the black
Right, thank you,
in
please.
the 17th frame. You couldn't possibly get a tighter finish than that. Well, here is a shot that I'm sure
Right,
Terry
clap, please,
Griffiths
thank you.
would rather not be playing. It's one that he's got to take on, but an extremely difficult
Thank
shot
you,
from
please.
close to the side cushion. And it's in. And Terry Griffiths at last wins this Lada Cars Snooker Classic final by 9 frames to 8.
Our commentators there, Dennis Taylor and John Pulman, and I think you'll agree what a marvellous final they had to describe. It took some great comeback by Steve Davis and everything hanging on the final black. Let's go back live to Oldham then for the presentation and rejoin John Pulman.
And well, what a tremendous climax to this wonderful few days of snooker. Starting off with Terry Griffiths unable to arrive from South Wales, being snowed in and then arriving by helicopter. And he finishes up the winner. And here we have David Hunt, Managing Director of Lada Cars, presenting the trophy. And what a happy man Terry Griffiths must be. And now Harry Knott, the marketing manager of Lada Cars, presenting the cheque, the all-important LSD. And Terry, a very, very happy man.
Terry Griffiths and Steve Davis, ladies and gentlemen, what an absolutely marvellous final. Terry, if we can just have a quick word with you first. A comfortable victory?
Well, I'm a bit lost for words. I'd just like to say a very nice thank you. I must say this to Lada because they have, of course, paid for my helicopter fare to come up here. And they've also now supplied me with an aircraft to go home tomorrow. And I was quite worried about it, and it did help me a lot today and relax me. But what a shot that pinky potted, wasn't it? Oh, it was like climbing Everest about 30 times today. Tremendous player, and, you know, although I won in the end, you know, I think he showed, you know, tremendous courage tonight. Typical of a world champion, I think. Tremendous.
Steve, I mean, obviously, after the interval tonight, you came back a different player. What did you say to yourself? How did you psych yourself up to come back like that?
Well, it's a very strange feeling when you know it's the last game to play. Listen. When you've got nothing to lose, it makes it a little bit easier. It's like starting off when you're in front sometimes. And, of course, the last frame's always the hardest to win. I should know that. I played a few. and haven't got close. Terry had a very, very tough game once in the UK a long time ago, and I think that's justified the ending again, so you got 1 for and 1 against now.
Did you think of that, Terry? You're against Rex Williams. Your first ever match, wasn't it?
Well, when I did think of it, it was 8-all, and I thought, well, the last time I lost a match to this, I went on to win the World Championships the following year. So I thought it couldn't be that bad if I lose. No, I think for a few frames tonight, I just didn't know what I was doing. When he came to 8-4, Steve played then a lot of good frames, but I think my mind was going slightly, Then I pulled myself together after I had enough games to recover. But, God, it takes some beating, didn't he?
Steve, what was the tension like out here? I think the crowd enjoyed it.
It was absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you, it's a fairly small place considering some of the places we play in, and I didn't think there'd be as much atmosphere as there has been, but I think this week has been incredible. I mean, there's been people standing up, and especially that in the last couple of frames, sort of split the crowd. Well, 70-30 perhaps. No. That's a pretty good split for me. Yeah. It's so nice to play in front of people that appreciate every shot, and it just makes the game seem more important. It makes every shot more exciting, and it was a fantastic game. I had my chance to go for the black, and I really enjoyed it. Bloody thing.
One thing that struck me when the colours were going down in the last frame there, the green. I mean, you took so much time weighing it up. That it seemed at that point the tension had really got to you.
Green. Yeah. Oh, the white one was on the cushion. Yeah, it makes it slightly more difficult. Because if you're near the cushion, it means you've got a cue on the top of the ball. The pink, I had a chance to go for the pink with the rest, but I tried to play the safety shot. Gave Terry a chance in there. I thought he'd get that one, but to live another day, I was left with an impossible shot, and all I could do really was try and pot it. I thought if I played safe, I'd mess it up. And it went right down the middle. I was well pleased to see that go.
I wasn't. No, it was a tremendous shot, that pink. What he was just talking about now, it was a terrible position to be in, but I don't know what he went for the black for. I thought he's bound to get the black after that pink, and I was quite pleased to see it stay out, I think we're on live and something's going wrong.
Well, we have run out of time. Steve Davis and Terry Griffiths, thanks for an absolutely marvellous final, and thanks to everyone here for making it such a great atmosphere.
So say all of us, and what a credit to their sport they are, those two amazing players. Now, our reporter there was Elton Welsby, so we come to the end of a great tournament, and I'm sure you'll all agree that it really was a truly marvellous final that we've all enjoyed tonight, and finally our congratulations then to Terry Griffiths and indeed